So my name is Lowell Ness. I'm a corporate securities partner at Perkins Coie in the Palo Alto office. I've been in Silicon Valley for most of my career and spent a lot of time with startup companies and venture capitalists. So I think digital securities, in my mind, comes down to a far more efficient way of record keeping for securities in general. And I do see a progression here from private markets to public markets, and I think it probably is a perfect opportunity right now for private companies, especially in Silicon Valley, that we're open to kind of new cap table type solutions. We've seen eShares and other solutions like that. Now they're called Carta, coming out of the woodwork because there's some openness to that. That fact is actually an important fact because cap table migration is impossible and nobody wants to do it. When you marry the fact that we're open in Silicon Valley to sort of cap table migration to the concept of blockchain as a technology to underpin the record keeping, I think there's an actual real opportunity right at this moment to do an amazing kind of new blockchain-based ledger system that will track private company stock. And we've seen a lot of the public companies like NASDAQ and others getting interested in this for the very reason that they see it as a step towards the public company sphere. So I think digital securities are coming, and it's the wave of the future. So I did get a chance to start out working on digital securities at kind of the very beginning of the early T0 project with Overstock and architecting some of the very first kind of concepts around how to do it. And it was an incredibly novel thing at the time. That's something that we had to deal with the SEC on, and frankly it was amazing to see how tuned in the SEC was even 3 or 4 years ago when that took place. I think we've made a tremendous amount of progress since then, and we're starting to see now more of these alternative trading systems and ATSs starting to get approved. And so I think we're, timing-wise, right on the cusp of seeing a lot more digital securities come into market and having places to trade. So Perkins Coie is a tech firm, first and foremost, and I would say we're a very entrepreneurial group. And so, speaking for myself, I've coded a major form system on several occasions now. That does document automation for all of the venture capital forms that we use in my practice. All of us have stories like that, and so it's an incredibly entrepreneurial firm. We're sort of a mix of lawyers and geeks that go out and code things. So yes, we are. Perkins is very entrepreneurial, and I think that's going to be important when it comes to dealing with digital securities and the transition from the paper securities to the digital world. I do think there's going to be a number of interesting technology choices that speed things up and make things better, that will make things also different from the way that we handled them previously, that needs to be backstopped with an actual contract. And so our forms are going to change a bit in some unexpected ways, but so it's going to be important for all of us to be on top of some of the nuances in the new forms for raising capital for private companies on a digital securities platform. So I think we're here at this really important roundtable event talking about some very interesting ways in which we could develop this new protocol for digital securities. And I've been really impressed with the people who are here. I was telling somebody earlier that this is, I think, my third time going through this process of trying to define the parameters and requirements for a digital securities platform. And it's by far kind of the best way to do it that I've experienced so far. We have a lot of experts, from transfer agents to broker-dealer types to people involved in commodities trading to former regulators and everything else. And so I do think we're going to get best of breed kind of input into the protocol, which is incredibly important for something that's going to be transformational, like a digital securities platform. So standardization is going to be an important driver for digital securities for the same reason it is an important driver in any software-based project. It's going to, require a lot of people to speak the same language in order to, and the code to speak the same language in order to develop the right applications on top of a protocol that is common for everyone to use.